Am I still okay here?
Yes, because she will use that later, but I don't.
I'll be gone
it
already.
Might be optimized for her.
Hi, how you guys doing? Fine. Hey, there it is.
Still working.
This weather's weird. It's beautiful now. It's supposed to be pouring the whole day.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, hi. How you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. He did, yeah. Hi there, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Good. Hi, how you doing? Did I? Sure.
Okay, sorry. I'll be right back.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? You got another one? Oh, here's another one. Hi, how you doing?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maddie Kolpa, and I'm a member of the board here at Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. On behalf of the board and the program council, it is my honor to welcome you here this morning. As we enter this space today, know that you are surrounded by the love of this community where all are welcome. Whoever you are, wherever you are from, and wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time here or your 101st time, if you are here in the building or watching online, you are welcome here. If we can find the camera with the red light, and give a quick greeting to those watching us from elsewhere. If you would like more information on our church, please fill out the visitor card in the pocket in front of you or visit our website, tvuuc.org, and select Stay in Touch. If you are interested in religious exploration classes for your children or adult RE for yourself here at TVUUC, please visit the RE hallway after the service. You'll find that through the double doors just past the kitchen, and you can speak to an RE leader. You can also find more information on our website or at the RE welcome table in the gallery. If you need any accessibility aids during the service, such as a large print hymnal, hearing device, or noise-canceling headphones, those can be found on a cart near the welcome table in the lobby. Our ushers will be glad to show you the way or collect one for you if you need it. If you are visiting us with small children, we invite you to sit up front where it is easier for your little ones to see what is going on. Please don't feel that you must keep them still. All are welcome here, and we understand that silence is never completely silent. You should also feel free to change seats at any time during the service if you need to move closer or even just stretch your legs. If you or your children need to step out of the sanctuary for a moment, the E.E. Cummings room is a glassed enclosed room at the back of the sanctuary where you can still hear and see the service. We do have a few announcements this morning. We've got several things going on in the church today after the service. We have a starting point session at 12:30 in room C. Pizza will be provided. This session is not only for those interested in membership, but also for established members, offering newcomers and old-timers an opportunity to explore ways in which Unitarian Universalism can make a difference in their lives. Not only will it help you decide if UUism is right for you, but it's also an opportunity to reflect on your beliefs and values. There's also a young adult group meeting at 12:30 in room G for all young adults aged 18 through 35 who are interested in community and connections. We have an adult RE program, Date with Death, at 1 p.m. in the Lizzie Crozier French Room. And we will also be having a celebration of life service for Lynn Mullins at 2 p.m. in the sanctuary. Date with Death at 12:30 today. Okay, thank you. A few more announcements. It is Family Promise time again. We will be hosting a number of families beginning the evening of Sunday, November 16th, through the morning of Sunday, November 23rd. We need volunteers for all roles, especially for meal preparation and overnight hosts. There is information in the order of service on how to sign up. And lastly, we have officially launched a new process for submitting newsletter items, calendar requests, and Sunday morning announcements. To help us make the most of our Sunday services, all announcements must now be submitted electronically by the end of office hours on Monday before the service. They will be read from the pulpit by the board member on duty as a brief 1 to 2 sentence summary. Longer announcements will be shared through other channels, including the hallway TV monitor, the order of service, and more. To find the form for electronic submission, you can now visit the homepage, the calendar page, and the members area of our website. QR codes for easy access will be available soon. These announcements and others can be found in the back of your order of service and in our weekly email newsletter. Today is a Generosity Sunday, and to tell you more about what this means and how to give, here's Jillian.
Good morning. This Sunday's generosity offering supports TVUC's operating budget, sustaining the ministries, programs, and staff that bring our mission to life. Your gift helps keep our community strong, welcoming, and ready to serve within and beyond our walls. Ways to give are listed in the order of service, including a QR code that will take you directly to the giving page. If you're watching online, just click the blue Give button on your screen. Thank you.
After the service, please join us for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall. If you're visiting, would like a tour of the building, or have questions about our church, you can look for me there, and I'll be happy to chat and show you around. If you have questions about the path to membership, I'll also be happy to introduce you to our prospective member coordinator, Mark Mahundro. And now, if you have not already done so, please silence any electronic devices as we enter worship together.
Hello, I'd like to introduce our guest musician today, Andrea Uriarte, and she is going to be playing and singing for you Mi Unicornio Azul by Silvio Rodriguez, a very renowned Cuban composer and singer-songwriter, very involved in, I guess, social justice work and the ideas of freedom and democracy around the world. Yes? For Cuba. And this song, Mi Unicornio Azul, is My Blue Unicorn. And during the 3 verses, the singer sings, I've lost my blue unicorn. I can't find him anywhere. And I would pay anything, I would give anything to get my friend back. So if you've heard or seen them, please let me know.
Good morning. My name is Suzanne Brown. Our opening words are by Florence Caplow. As we kindle this, the flame, we honor and remember those who have passed into the mystery. Their brightness lives on in our vision. Their courage lives on in our communities. And their love continues to bless the world through us. Come, let us worship together.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our great covenant. This Sunday, everyone was invited to bring pictures of loved ones of blessed memory to place on the altar. If you didn't get a chance to do it before the service, you can do it during our opening hymn, which is 336 in your gray hymnal, All My Memories of Love.
I have something to share with us today, but first I have a question. Does anybody here like balloons? Has anybody here ever seen or had a balloon and it made you smile or feel a little bit brighter? Has anybody here ever had a balloon make you sad? Why might a balloon make you sad? Yeah, it might pop. Or have you ever seen a balloon floating away in the sky? Sometimes they might go away. Oh my. There were, oh my gosh. Sometimes when they go away, It might feel like we can never find them again. Sometimes they float very, very far away. And there were some people who were in this sanctuary this morning before everybody else who saw something happen here this morning. Who can tell us what happened here this morning? Yeah, what happened here? Yeah. Yeah, I accidentally let go of the string, and it went all the way up there. And somebody named John saved the day and got up on a ladder and brought it down. And I'm thinking about balloons today as that helps me reflect on this All Souls Day, that sometimes people are a little like balloons. We have people in our lives that we love, that we spend time with, and sometimes they go away. They might move really far away, or they might die. And when they do, those people feel very, very, very far away sometimes. And it might feel like we can't ever, ever reach them again. Yeah. Yeah, she said it popped. Yeah, you had a balloon that popped. Yeah. Sometimes those people or pets that we love feel very, very far away when they're not with us in person anymore. But we have something that's a little bit like the ribbon on this balloon. We have our memories and our thoughts of them. Now, when they first leave, it might be a little bit like the way I felt this morning when I let go of that ribbon. And it feels like there's nothing we can do to get to it. We can't reach them anymore. They feel so far away. And even when we think of them, we might think we see them, but we cannot get there. And sometimes with some help from other people, we can reach that ribbon again. And when we remember them, and when we talk about them, and when we enjoy foods that they liked. Yeah. And when we tell stories about how they were in our lives, we pull on that ribbon and pull them a little closer. So we might not ever be able to hold them in our arms again, unlike this balloon. But sometimes we pull on that ribbon, we remember, and we share, and we do things that make us remember that they are still connected with us, and we pull them closer and closer to us. And so today, we are remembering people who we have lost. We have this altar here where we have shared many photos of beloveds who are not with us in person. And we have some ribbons here that we'd like to share. I could use some helpers. There are little short sections of ribbon and baskets that we can send around, and we want to invite everybody who would like to take a ribbon and invite somebody sitting near you to tie it around your wrist as you think of the people we are remembering today. You could take a basket and take them. We could put one basket over that way and one in each section, and people could pass them around. We have people who would like to help share the baskets. And as we're doing that, I'd like to invite us now, as you would like, I'd like to invite everybody to say aloud the names of some people or beloved animals that we are remembering today, who we would like to invite to be with us in spirit. Let's share some names. You can just say them out loud. You don't have to raise your hand. Yeah. We have so many people that we're remembering today, and we're not going to let this balloon get all the way away from us again. So thank you all, and those baskets may continue to be passed around during the service today. And if you feel like you are at the end of a section, it has gotten everywhere, we could place them on the half walls around the room. So anybody who didn't get them and would like can get one a little bit later on. Oh, Taz, could you share them with the folks right here? Thank you. We invite all of these folks to be with us today as we remember them and remember their love and remember the ways that they are still active in our lives. as we tug on that ribbon. So thank you all. And now we're going to invite our learners and leaders who are heading to our religious exploration spaces to head down the hall as we sing out with our recessional. Thank you.
Please join in responsive reading 721 in the back of the gray hymnal. I will read the first words, and you will read the words in italics. At the end, you will be invited for a second time to say the names of those of blessed memory who continue to give you strength. In the struggles we choose for ourselves, in the ways we move forward in our lives and bring our world forward with us. We share a history with those lives. We belong to the same motion. Those who lived before us, who struggled for justice and suffered injustice before us, have not melted into the dust and have not disappeared. They are with us still. The lives they lived hold us steady. Their words remind us and call us back to ourselves. Their courage and love evoke our own. We, the living, carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands, and their hearts. Let us name those who lend strength in our lives.
As we settle in for a time of meditation and prayer, I invite us to remember our bodies first, to pay attention to our breath, to simply breathe together for a moment, remembering that this breath connects us intimately with all living things. Spirit of life, God who is love, great creative energy of this universe, we gather here in the wide, living family of all souls to remember cycles of living and dying and living on. To remember the ancestors among us. We gather to rest our voices, hands, and hearts, knowing that the continuation of the world is not all up to us. In this resting place, may we connect simply with the greater stream of life and being, the love we receive from generations past, the love we receive from this community. And the strength we receive from the greater love that holds us all. In this resting place, we connect with the feeling of being alive today. Thankful for the lives that have gifted us with life. Thankful for the lives that have gifted us with courage. Thankful for the lives that have gifted us with opportunities for healing. In this hurting world with so much need, may those spirits help us keep on keeping on. We rest in silent gratitude for all we carry in our hearts today. Amen.
You may remain seated for our next hymn, which is in the teal hymnal, 1051, We Are.
This song is kind of a choose your own adventure. The first two lines are something that you can repeat constantly throughout the entire song. And then at the end of the song, we'll repeat those same two lines 4 more times. But you can also choose to start on the verse at the bottom of the first page. And you'll notice that there's a repeat sign that says to repeat pages 2 and 3 before you can do that. So we'll just go straight through and only do the first and the last repeats.
In autumn, when the leaves are falling from the trees, there are many holidays that invite us to remember our ancestors and those who we have lost in our own lifetime. There's All Souls and All Saints. There's the Day of the Dead and Samhain. This time of year, we remember our connection to our ancestors and those who've gone before us, to use the poetic and pantheistic language of Sweet Honey in the Rock. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. This morning I'll be reflecting on one of my ancestors, but one of our shared goals is to remember all of our ancestors. And remembering one, it helps us remember all. When my stepson Christopher, before my first granddaughter was born, asked me what granddad name I wanted, I surprised myself by saying Pop, because that was my own grandfather's name and it felt like identity theft. I felt like I was stealing the name of an ancestor. But another reason I had a hard time choosing a granddad name is, on some level, I never really knew either of my grandfathers. My father's father died before I was born. And when I was born, my grandfather, my mother's father, Pop, had a very debilitating form of Parkinson's disease. And so by the time I came along, he was unable to get out of the bed without assistance, unable to get out of a chair without assistance. My grandmother had to get someone else to help her, or she had a hydraulic lift to help get him from bed to chair and chair to bed. He could not communicate with any words or any sentences, but he made great use of the sound And could mean almost anything. It could mean, that was funny. I really like that story. It's good to see you. But could also mean, I'm very skeptical of that story. That's not how I remember it. That's not my understanding of the story. So that sound meant many different things, and you would have to pay attention to context and other things to figure out what that sound meant. Now, I used to spend Sunday evenings with my pop and my grandmother, who was named Biggie. And my parents were often busy on Sunday evenings at church meetings. And so this was when I was in elementary school, and we lived in Tucker, Georgia. And I could walk through the woods to my grandparents' house. And my grandmother, we would eat dinner together, and everything on her plate was something nutritious. Each thing had a specific nutritional value in each part of her plate. But because she loved me, she always got me a hamburger, french fries, and Coke from Burger King. And after dinner, I would sit with Pop and we would watch TV together. So my times with Pop were not about talking with each other or conversations or activities done together. It was simply about being together. And many of those evenings we spent watching Star Trek, which can only mean that I had the remote control. My most meaningful encounter with Pop was one day I was sitting there and he kept pointing at a globe. And so it was a globe that was on a dresser, and I went and got the globe and I brought it to him, and he started pointing at a southeastern section of Africa. And I had no idea why he was doing that until Biggie came back into the room and said, "Oh, when he served in the Navy during World War II, he spent time in that part of Africa. And indeed, when he came back from the war, he wanted to move the whole family to Mozambique, which Biggie did not want to do. And so, but Biggie was able to tell me why I was bringing that globe and what he was trying to communicate to me, and I'm tremendously grateful. And maybe a lifelong interest in Africa comes from that moment. Now, Biggie didn't want to move to Africa, but they compromised and bought a farm. And by the time I came along, that farm had been turned into subdivisions, and that was a strategy on Biggie's part, because when Pop got Parkinson's, how was the family going to have enough money to support him? And so selling off the farm to turn it into a suburb was part of a survival strategy in his decades-long struggle with Parkinson's. Now, I should mention that Pop volunteered for World War II to serve in the Navy. He wasn't drafted. He chose to go there. Biggie wasn't thrilled about that either, because they had 2 kids together. And so she wasn't thrilled about being left behind. One day when my mother, she was in elementary school, she was crying about something, and the teacher came to ask her what was bothering her, and I guess she didn't know. She didn't know why she was crying, and so she decided to make up a story. This story, it'll probably make you, it's a terrible thing to do. So she told her teacher that Pop was missing in action. So later that day, when Biggie was coming home from buying groceries, she got to her house, and there was a line of cars around the house of people who had come concerned about Pop being missing in action, and they would come to support Biggie. Biggie had no idea what she was walking into. So years later, my mom told me this story, and I guess I must have been a little bit skeptical, because I asked Biggie about it, and what Biggie told me contained 3 things. It contained a mother's love for her child, 2, a mother's frustration with her child, and 3, uncharacteristic profanity on her part. So I asked her if it was true, and she said, "Yes, it's true, damn her." So Pop came home safely from the war. His reasons for wanting to join the Navy in World War II may be clear in the story I'm about to tell. He was a lawyer. He was president of the Atlanta Bar Association. My cousin Betty Ann remembers he liked to watch Perry Mason on TV. He was a very successful lawyer, but because he represented Jewish clients, the Ku Klux Klan burned a cross in his yard. And my sister Mary Ann remembers being scared and huddling upstairs with her uncles and Biggie. And if you remember, this is in the 1950s. In 1958, the Atlanta synagogue was bombed, so a fiery cross in your front yard was a scary thing. It was no idle threat. And Pop, have you ever heard of the slogan for Atlanta during the 60s? The city too busy to hate. The city too busy to hate. My grandfather Pop served on a commission that was formed by Mayor Hartsfield and later carried on by Mayor Ivan Allen to figure out the challenges to segregation and the civil rights movement. What was the approach of the city and what was it going to be? So my grandfather served on a committee that included Daddy King, Martin Luther King's dad, and A.D. King, Martin Luther King's uncle, as they strategized how to handle it differently than many other southern cities were handling it. And historians have said because of the strategy of the city, that's why Atlanta became a power city. My sister Mary Ann reminded me of this. Instead of Birmingham, where there was so much hatred and so much violence, Atlanta wasn't perfect. But there's a reason Dr. King decided to move back to Atlanta from Montgomery after the Montgomery bus boycott to use that as a base for civil rights work. Not a perfect city, but a better base of operations. And when Dr. King won the Nobel Peace Prize, Mayor Ivan Allen, to the surprise of many Georgians, hosted a very large reception for Dr. King and his family when they came back from that ceremony, something that surprised many Georgians. My grandfather couldn't be there because at that time his Parkinson's was too advanced. Although Pop was a lawyer, he was most at home building things. Betty Ann, my cousin, tells me that Biggie used to say, every Saturday, Pop has a board meeting, and I know because I hold the board. And, or one of the uncles, somebody else was going to hold the board. And both my Uncle Jim and my Uncle Butch inherited handyman skills, which I do not have myself. Pop was a man of few words. My cousin Betty Ann tells the story of a family reunion where everyone was gathered, and Betty Ann asked if they were going to go visit Mama Nall, because Mama Nall always gave cookies and treats to the kids. And so Pop got Betty Ann and my brother Sam, both children, in a car, and they drove out to Westview Cemetery, and they got out and they walked to Mama Nall's grave. And Betty Ann says she remembers nothing that he said, but she remembers it was a very visual lesson about life and death. And that's where most of my family on my mother's side is buried. That's where Pop is buried now. That's where Biggie is buried. And the most recent time I was there is when my brother, who's an Episcopal minister, and I, Unitarian minister, did a Methodist liturgy for my Uncle Jim. But on that area, you can find the gravestone that reads, and this is Pop's real name, Andrew Walton Nall, May 22nd, 1909 to April 5th, 1984. The last time I went to see Biggie, she was in that place where we, sometimes as we get older, the difference between the future and the past, it all kind of blurs together. And there's tissue around if you, you need it. She kept thinking, Pop should be home right now. That's what she would keep saying, and he hadn't been alive for years. But that's what tradition tells us, Celtic tradition and earth-centered traditions, that the veil between the living and the dead is thin. It is thin. My brother Sam and my sisters Mary Ann and Shannon have memories of riding on Pop's shoulders and riding in the car while he was driving. But by the time I came along, he couldn't get out of a chair without help. He couldn't get out of his bed. And the only way he could communicate is saying, a sound that can mean many different things. This week, most of the stories I've told have been because I've been in conversation with my cousins and my brothers and sisters, and we got out some old photos. There's a picture of him there in his Navy hat. And then that picture, my sister said, Chris, I can see Pop in you. And he does have a balding head and a Roman nose and a little bit of a smirk that you can't tell what it is. And he was a military veteran, and I'm a Quaker-educated Unitarian Universalist minister. But we are both ferociously against fascism at home or abroad. And we need the strength of our ancestors to fight authoritarianism in this day and age. The ancestors are with us. There's a poem by Mary Oliver that I read every time I do a burial up there on the hill in the memorial garden. And it goes like this. She wrote, "To live in this world, we have to be able to do three things. Love what is mortal, hold it against our bones, knowing our own life depends on it, And when the time comes to let it go, to let it go. In the fullness of time, all things pass. In the fullness of eternity, all things go. And life is about learning to let go. So today I've been talking about my grandfather, Pop, but if you've been listening carefully, you know that I'm talking about all of our ancestors and the way they continue to live in us. All our relations, a reminder that we are at all times surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses. I never knew either of my grandfathers in a doing things together kind of way. So I never knew Pop. And now I am Pop. I am Pop, and at first it felt like identity theft. First it felt like stealing an ancestor's name. But now I know it's all about carrying out a tradition. And there's a lot of Pops out there in the world. And my wife's Nana, all the grandma and granddad names, there's so many. It's all about carrying on a tradition. For we are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. And in that Spirit, we will now have our offering. And as we give, let's remember the ancestors, many whose pictures are on this table, who helped build this congregation and continue to give us strength.
Good morning. Your order of service says that Mebby Jackson will be sharing joys and concerns today, but unfortunately Mebby is sick, and so I am here to fill in. My name is Wimberly, and along with Mebby, David, Carolyn, John, and Maris, we're members of the spiritual care team. We are a group of trained volunteers who help with the caring needs of this congregation. Our conversations are held in private unless you give us permission to share. If you need to reach us by text or by calling us, you can find our number on the back page of the order of service. We also help with rides, organize meals, and once a month we offer listening booths. We work closely with the Caring Table, and we encourage you to stop by there today, staffed by Sharon Fields and Doris Gov. It's where you can add your name to messages of support that will be sent to those in need of good wishes. We have a joy from Cindy Moffett with the Memorial Reception Committee, and she says thank you, in all caps, for your help with the 3 upcoming memorial services. She says we now have plenty of people to work in the kitchen, but we would welcome finger food contributions. So if you'd like to offer some, please drop them off in the kitchen before the memorial service. The upcoming memorial services are listed in your weekly newsletter. A joy and a concern is that Debbie Hyde is navigating some shoulder and rotator cuff issues, but she reports she's able to sleep well in her recliner despite her shoulder not liking to recline very much. She says that she's been approved to shower, but is still thinking about how to carefully move without the restraining device that protects her shoulder. Debbie is making her way with these challenges, and she says she's doing great. A concern to share, last week we welcomed a new member, Carla Cox, to our congregation. Her good friend, Mark Mahundro, has shared that she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and other health issues. She is currently in the hospital and asked that she be lifted up today in our service. As a caring community, we recognize that often concerns or stresses or losses are not named in this service for a variety of reasons. We recognize that concerns and losses can be complicated, and there can be complex feelings around the struggles we experience. We hold those up too, though, even if they are not spoken aloud here. And we wish you strength and clarity and peace. And a final joy, maybe a concern as well, today is that you still have time to vote if you haven't already. So now, please join me in singing to all of those we have lifted up here and to the joys and concerns that remain unspoken. We are sending you light.
I invite you to rise and bow to your spirit for our closing hymn 103 and the great hymnal for all the saints. Drawing strength from all those who've come before us, I say, prophetic church, the world awaits your liberating ministry. Go forward in the power of love, proclaim the truth that makes us free. As our last act of worship, I invite you to turn and greet your neighbor.